Hello, all of you beautiful, bold, and brilliant souls. I am Davina Shemaya, and today I'm going to talk about the terror of abandonment. I suppose many people call it the fear of abandonment, but I call it the terror of abandonment because it is truly linked to our really deep and basic survival instinct. So if we have narcissistic parents, we grow up we don't receive the unconditional love that we deserved as children. When a child receives unconditional love, they know they're accepted, they know that their parents going to love them no matter what they're feeling, no matter what their energy is like, no matter how they're behaving, that they are going to be loved and accepted and cared for. Now, if you have a narcissistic parent, they do not give unconditional love. In fact, they want you to conform to whatever they want. And so the child develops shame because they are, or you are, trying to mold and alter and contort yourself to fit into what you think that your parents want you to be. And so with this shame, it comes the fear of rejection. And this is the terror of abandonment. Because you can imagine, when you are like very small, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years old, you are literally completely dependent on your parents. And yeah, you're not, if they left for the day, you would, you wouldn't be able to even probably get something to eat. You can't open the fridge. You can't go up to the sink to get a glass of water. You just, and not to mention your just emotional needs as well, or the need to be, just held or, everything. So for a child, their parent is like everything. They completely depend on that parent for their survival. So if you have this narcissistic parent who doesn't show you the unconditional love, you can live in constant shame and terror that they will leave you, reject you, and leave you, and you will die. Right. So this is a very deep, deep fear, and this can replay as we go into our adult relationships and even jobs, because we again get into a relationship where we don't have any boundaries. It becomes codependent because as again we weren't allowed boundaries as children. So yeah, we replay this kind of dependent situation where we're depending on whether it's a spouse or a partner or a boyfriend, girlfriend, job, whatever, we get overly dependent on that one thing. We can think that that is the one and only, and, we can't leave. And that is, and it gets to be like, no matter what they do or what, the job is like, we tend to just stick around because we're so afraid of leaving, or so afraid that they will leave us. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's just, that kind of separation and abandonment. Yeah, so what happens is, and it's also intertwined with this, the trauma bonding, because as a child, again, you've developed a trauma bond with your parents. It's not love, it's not a relationship, it is really just a trauma bond. They have given you intermittent reinforcement, sometimes kind and caring and sometimes abusive, and you get addicted. It's just like you're addicted to them. You go to them for support, and the next day they're criticizing you or shaming you, and so we can again replay this in our other relationships and jobs as well. And so what develops is kind of after a while, you might start wanting to leave. And there's this, so we kind of have this fear, the relationship starts to feel unsafe. And yet we have this fear of leaving. So we have this competing kind of fear. Begin to have a fear of staying and also a fear of leaving. Because staying feels dangerous, leaving feels like, like you're just going to die. So it can be a really sort of tormenting kind of situation. It's not easy to break out of this deep conditioning. So it's important to know, just to always go gently with this. I think there's a point where, for me anyway, I noticed there was a point where I just like the situation got too unsafe and I just needed to leave. And then I needed to face that fear of abandonment. And the fear of abandonment is only, it's not true. That's really important to know, that it's, that you're not going to die. It can feel like you're going to die when you leave these situations. But that one person or that one job is not your sole, provider, not your sole way of getting your needs met, not your only way of getting, resources and things that you need. We are interdependent beings. You can have many relationships in your life, and they can come and they can go, and you can move on to another one. And and I think God is your provider in everything. Like if you have a job, that job came through God, and you're getting a paycheck through God, really. And you can change jobs, and God will still continue to provide for you through another source. So God is the ultimate source of your getting your needs met. So it's important to understand that. And if you don't believe in God, I don't know. I didn't believe in God when I started, 10 years ago. I did not believe. I was starting to kind of wonder and question. But now I have like no doubts that there is this supreme being. It is, this is God's world, and I'm a precious child of God, and I will be cared for. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the terror of abandonment today. This is definitely not an easy one to get through. For myself, I feel like I've been facing it again and again this year with my different jobs, and it's been very healing, because every time I leave, I realize, okay, I don't just depend on this one job for my income. There's another one, and it's freedom, because you don't have true freedom if you're just stuck in one relationship. Like if you can't leave that relationship, you're not free. You're only free if you can say, okay, you're crossing my boundaries and I can get up and go. That's your true freedom. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. And I am wishing you many blessings on this very difficult and painful journey of healing and awakening. That is also very rewarding. So hang in there, stick around for the miracles. And I'm Davina Shemaya at Boldness Blooming. Thank you for watching.